What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV, giving you some extra cheese on Thursday afternoon. Still all alone here in the studio. It's a lonely existence, but that should end tomorrow, hopefully. If not, definitely by Monday. Still, always want to pop on, see, check the pulse, so to speak. Packers fandom. Glomar, sup? Gary, yo. Hello, Stu. I thought I couldn't get any more hyped for Hockenson than Ben Fennell posted a thread. Hockenson is the real deal, man. I'll tell you. I know there's a great kind of debate as far as whether he's worth the 12th overall pick. He is in my book. I would be surprised if the Packers feel that way, but we'll see. Yo, hello to everybody. How you doing? Aaron, you're too good to us. Chad, I seriously disagree. Hey, Aaron, this is perfect for a blustery, messed up weather day in Wisconsin. How are you? Matt, I am okay. And holy cow, seeing a ton of social media from Wisconsin last night and today. Y'all are still in the midst of winter. Winter isn't coming. It's certainly there. I can't apologize enough. It's been pretty fair here in New York, actually. How are you doing? I'm okay, Santiago. Thanks for asking. Oliver and Fant in round one. Chase, it's a possibility. Certainly would seem to fall in line with 12 and 30, but I will be very surprised if Oliver is actually available at 12. Everyone will be gone by pick 12. Nick's got it right. Holy cow, I actually caught an extra cheese live. Daniel, welcome. This is the excitement you've been missing. What are your thoughts on Dexter Lawrence? Love his upside, and I think he's going to get. I want to say no. That's okay. That's wrong. I think he's going to go a lot higher than some people might think. How's that? Where can I find a draft party in Green Bay? I'm having trouble finding one because they don't have them anymore. They used to have them at the franchise. The Packers used to hold one, but they decided to do the stream at the studio here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody here will ask. I'll tweet it out, see if anybody's doing a big time draft party. Maybe like the distillery or somebody will be putting one together. But obviously, since I don't live there, I don't really kind of keep up with it. But I'll see what I can find out. Rodgers needs to step up his mustache game. Russ, those are some strong words there, sir. He had a pretty stout one going on yesterday, although he still has the other scruff, so it's not a true mustache. Let's see. Hi, Negs. I'm going through the Banky withdrawals. Where is he? Mike, we all are. Right now, he is actually probably, as we speak, in the air on a plane on his way back from Vegas. If A.J. Brown was drafted, where would you rank him in our current wide receiver depth chart, Walter? I have no idea. I'd have to see him on the field first. Obviously, if he gets drafted, say, at 30, which I think I've seen some mocks positing that idea, that's a pretty significant investment. I think he would be on the field sooner rather than later, but he's got to do it. You don't just draft these guys and insert them into the lineup. They got to earn their time. The only wide receiver ever that I can ever remember in the, 35, 40 years I've been watching football as a sentient human being, when it comes to the Packers, Greg Jennings is the one guy who, when he was drafted, he was instantly inserted into the starting lineup. Outside of that, you got to earn your spot. Who was your first ever Packer player you got to interview? Vince Workman, my way back to you, babe. Well, it wasn't Vince Workman. I don't know. That's a really good question. It had to have been probably somebody back in the day when we first started transplants. Probably somebody we reached out to on Twitter. It probably, there's a good chance it was Tom Crabtree, actually. Is Tremont going to be our day one free safety? I don't think so. I mean, talking to Matt LaFleur, hearing him talk at the combine, at the owners' meetings, it sounds like, Tremont is back at corner, and that is his position. Aaron looking sharp today. It's black shirt. Thank you. When the Packers hold practice against the Texans, will it be open to the public? Yes, it will be. It will be like a normal training camp practice with another team in attendance. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of maybe joint thing either on in Lambeau and or the not Nitschke, but in front, the Clark Hinkle Field with the kind of closed off for one practice. But the majority of them should be open to the public. I know this is crazy talk in all caps, but trade for Rosen, thoughts? If number 12 goes down, don't you think it'd be better to have a backup Rodgers has shown some interest in? Okay, Ryan. I understand the idea that you're positing here. The trouble I've had with this idea since people started bringing it up is it could be interesting if Rodgers did go down. Yeah, Rosen steps on there. He's obviously got a first-round pedigree. He's got to learn a new offense, etc. Well, what happens if Rosen looks really good? And then now you've got him sitting behind Rodgers, and their contracts are running out at the exact same time, causing yourself a bit of a headache there. Now, that's a good problem to have, right? It really depends on the draft capital involved, and I don't see Gutekunst giving up a significant amount after he just traded for Kaiser the year before and is clearly sticking with him after the first year. I just don't see it happening, but you never say never. And all that said, the last part of your thing, Rodgers has shown some interest in. Yeah, he did the film documentary thing last year during the draft season, but that has absolutely nothing to do with, if anything, you want the backup pushing him. JJ Watt on a bike. It's probably going to happen. Get ready. I want to give up 12 for numbers 24 and 27 from Oakland would be the best case scenario. Well, it depends on who's available at 12, right? I mean, if Ed Oliver's there, I don't want him moving anywhere. But, if the draft falls a certain way and there's a bunch of guys that are similarly rated there at 12, then, okay, drop down maybe. But all the way down to 24 feels like a jump. Do you think we are done in free agency? Probably, Brad, but I wouldn't completely close the door yet. Don't forget, they signed Jahari Evans the week of the draft. Or actually, I think it was like a day or two before the draft a couple of years ago. So they're always looking. They're always making calls. I don't see anything on the horizon, but you never know. Does getting Cole Madison back take the need away to get an O-lineman early in the draft? No, absolutely not. It's certainly welcome, and it certainly adds depth. But if there's a guy of value when they're on the clock who they really want and or project to be, a longtime starter in the league, etc., you absolutely still pull the trigger. If that's the best guy on your board, you don't, the return of a former fifth-round pick who sat out a year is no reason to alter any kind of draft plan. Does Gutekunst pick up a 2020 first-round pick in trade during this draft? Maybe. Remember a couple years ago, it was like 5-6 years ago when the Patriots, I think it was 3 years in a row, acquired first-day picks for the following year. They just kept churning through it. So it's a possibility, I guess. But, I would tend to doubt it, but you never know. We need a bit more patience with Josh Jackson to take that leap, arguably the second hardest position on the field. Talking about Jackson maybe switching to safety. I know a lot of people have posited that idea. With you, I think you got to be patient. You drafted him to play corner. He only started in college for 1 year, so he's still young at the position. And he's shown a lot of promise. He's got great ball skills. He's shown an ability to cover in the league, but as we've talked about here often, he's got to stop grabbing guys. Rodgers seems fairly confident with the team this year compared to last season when he said numerous times it's a work in progress. Did you pick up on that too? Yes and no, Ryan. I think some of the rhetoric changes because of the situation, right? I mean, clearly he's more confident because of the fact that Bleacher Report article came out, this us against the world mentality, etc. He's heard, as he said a couple times, from so many people over the course of the last week, that they have his back, etc. So I think naturally he's a little more confident, puffed up, call it what you will. But it's a big change, and it is a big adjustment, and they are in a spot they have not been in a very long time. Certainly, for the most part, most of the guys on the roster haven't been through this kind of change/upheaval. So, Rodgers went through it very early, his first year from Mike Sherman and Mike McCarthy. But, he wasn't the starter. He wasn't the man at that point. So it's a big adjustment on his part. And I do think, yes, is he confident? Sure. But he's always been confident. And, as far as last year saying it's a work in progress, well, I think that was fair. I think it's fair to categorize or, look at what he's saying right now and say he's confident in himself and his teammates. But I don't think I've really seen him lay out like, oh, we're going to go win the Super Bowl. That he has said undoubtedly that there's no grace period. We'll see how it all starts coming together here as the offseason churns along. Any more content with Matt Miller this draft season? I like the first pod you guys did. Thanks, Sam. I'm going to try to get him back on sometime before the draft. It's hard. Matt's so busy this time of year. Just to get him on initially, it was great. I mean, we tried to do it during the combine itself and just could never connect because the guy's just busy. The only time I saw him was at like 11:30 at night at the bar. So could have brought a microphone with me, I guess. But, yeah, no, I will try and get Matt on. I always love talking draft with Matt. Anybody who's followed me for a long time knows when we worked at Bleacher Report together, we did a live draft show where we covered every single pick live in real time. It was an awesome experience. Matt's an amazing guy and an amazing evaluator. So we'll definitely try to get him on one more time before the draft. Why did we not invite other teams for preseason practices? One is enough. Let's just slow down here. Do we get Leroy Butler into the Hall of Fame this year? Feel free to rant on this topic. Dustin, I don't have it in me today, but insert rant here. How's that? Man, it's so ridiculous that he's not in. It's just ridiculous. Catch me on another day, though, and I will rant aplenty. Is the feed hanging for others, too? I'm sorry if it's broken up. The Wi-Fi was really spotty. It's been really bad today. I thought I had it going well, but I'm sorry if there's any lag. I'm going to cut this short anyway. So, Nagel, will Big Cat actually come over for kickoff against the Bears this season? I tend to doubt it. I don't think I'll be watching a Bears-Packers game with Big Cat anytime soon. Nags at 11:30 at the bar with a mic is entertainment to me. Yeah, Liberty, it would be a good time, but hopefully not live. Was there a reason Texans were chosen for the preseason practice? I would tend to think LaFleur reached out and probably knows a couple people on their staff and or Gutekunst reached out. I don't doubt that was there's it's always relationship driven, and I'm pretty sure that would be the case here. I don't know an exact how it transpired, but it's definitely a question worth asking. Hopefully, one we'll get an answer to in the next couple of weeks. Pick in the draft. Well, I love AJ Brown, Deborah. But the thing about the concussions, every head is different, every body is different, and every reaction to those headshots are different. And Davante has been absolutely inhuman when it comes to the turnaround after these hellacious shots he's taken. And that's not saying, oh, go ahead and let him get hit. But, whether he works out in the perimeter or works in the slot, he's going to get hit. He's a football player, I don't think anybody, any team, any coach drawing up game plans and or, utilization of their personnel is ever going to say, oh, this guy's had a few hits. You cannot play the game afraid because that's when you get injured. So I don't think that'll come into any kind of consideration with how they want to use Davante in the slot. I mean, look, Davante's run out of the slot a ton already, So, and when he got clobbered there against Chicago 2 years ago, I can't remember specifically, but I think he was on the right perimeter. So he just worked into the middle of the field. Like I said, you cannot play scared. You can't be afraid of getting injured because that's when you get injured. Do you see us filling the third running back spot with the draft or with free agency? Daniel, I would tend to think the draft. I mean, never say never, but I think this personnel program, whether it's been Ted or Gutekunst at the helm, it's pretty much, it appears that's how they want to kind of address that position. Hockenson over both Devons. Woo! Bold proclamation. I hope Devin's not here, the one who always posts in all caps. I mean, I tend to agree with you for the most part, but I can see the arguments for either of the Devins. So I don't know. Jonah Williams at 12. If he falls there, I wouldn't hate the pick. Absolutely. I don't see him falling that far, but you never know. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Love AJ Brown too. Yes, Deborah. I'm telling you what, he out of everybody, I mean, Hollywood Brown to me is kind of like a pipe dream. I'd love to see him catching passes from Rodgers. I'd be surprised if they went that route. You never know though. But yeah, AJ Brown, I think makes a ton of sense. Who do you think is primed to make a bigger jump in their second year on the field, Montravius Adams or Tyler Lancaster? I mean, Adams came on towards the end of the year. I think Lancaster played better overall last year. It's really hard to say without, having any kind of feel for their offseason work. But give me Lancaster just because he showed such tremendous promise last year and played at a shockingly high level, considering I wasn't expecting much of anything when he was brought in as an undrafted free agent. Stronger leg, Mason Crosby or Harry Kane? Probably back in the day, Crosby, but now give me Kane. Haven't heard much on David Montgomery. Love that guy. I think he falls to the third. Joseph, I absolutely love David Montgomery. He's one of my favorite players in this draft. Could he fall to the third? Sure, absolutely could. Do I think the Packers look at him if that happens? I hope so. I'd love that. I've read 20 people will go in the first 11 picks. That was kind of what it felt like during the combine, because every guy who blew up the combine with his workout, there's no way he lasts till 12. Oh, well, you've said that about 20 dudes, so somebody will be there at 12. AJ Brown is a total stud. I think he's like a combo of Devontae and Antonio. Whew. High praise. I think he has the potential to do real damage in the NFL, no doubt about it. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to jump. I'm sorry for the lag. I'm sorry this is so short. I got lots to get to tonight, so thank you so much for checking it out. Please hit subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Hell, open new YouTube accounts, new Gmail accounts, and subscribe on your ghost accounts. Just get us some subscribers, people. 20,000 for the draft. We can do it, people. I'm counting on you. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.